know what to say. Alright, well, first stream. First ASMR stream. There's something I should have done that I didn't do earlier. There we go. Alright, well, the biggest problem I've seen with newer ASMR streamers is that they don't have anything to do because they don't have any viewers yet. And so I figured the best thing to do would be to give myself something to do. And so I have a chat simulator Excel sheet that I'm going to be working on. I don't have Excel 365, which I believe comes with an actual dark mode. So I made a style for the cells that kind of emulates a dark mode, and I tweaked it around a bit, and I think I'm happy with it. It does mean that if I start like a new tab or something, though, it's all white and everybody's gonna get flashbanged. I normally don't mind working with it in white, but I figured if it's an ASMR stream, it probably should not be just an extremely bright white spreadsheet. I didn't think that would be conducive to the content. So I did some messing around ahead of time, and I found that Excel does have a randomizer. So you can do a random between a number and a number. And I'm gonna be honest, I made this a while ago, so it's been a minute since I actually coded any of it, or, entered it, but it appears, from what I'm seeing, that it picks a random number between 1 and 4, and then it tries to find that number within a certain column, and then XLOOKUP matches it to another column. And so we have it's like a name randomizer. We have adjectives and we have nouns, and it will pick them. And then it will pick a trigger, and it will say this trigger for this person. So that's as far as I got. We've got the back end and the front end. So my thinking is that we'll put all of what makes it work here in the back end, and then we'll have the front end, which is a bit more nice and cleaned up and everything. So, and then we'll also have a to-do list for different things we want to add, because I want it to do more than triggers. So we might have some other types of redeems, or, different things. Something I want to do is have a ban list. Might be interesting to try and do, where we can put in a certain combination of a username, and that person will be banned, and if it ever comes up, it will redo it. But basically, the way this works is that anytime the random comes up, it will re-trigger every time I hit F9. So we could have trigger word moonlight for commanding banana, headpats for commanding voidling, bullying for handsome banana, and we would just add to all of these and then see where it goes. So I think the first thing, I feel like we need more adjectives, we need more usernames. So that's fine. No, we don't want to. Should have highlighted all 4 of these. There we go. I'll just copy and we'll just paste them over for usernames. So some more adjectives. Let's see what would be a good adjective. And I don't even know. Goodness, just anything. Speedy is good. We could have a speedy username. We could have a... Let me just start by picking a letter. B. What's an adjective that starts with B? Break. No. I'm a lot better at the Excel sheet than I am with words. Brave. Brave is a good adjective. Let's do another. Let's go for a P adjective. Could be pretty. We've already got handsome, so let's not do pretty. I guess those aren't the same, but still, let's try something in like a different kind of field. Productive. That's what we're being. We're being productive today. Productive, and then we could have what else? Again, let me start with the letter. Keep looking at C and Q, but I'm already not good at this, and picking one of those would suck. Quirky. Quirky. And then we need to add some nouns. Those are easier. So, R, let's say, race car. And then let's go with a Y. Not yo-yo. Yak. Yak is a noun. Let's see what else we could go for. An H. An H noun could be house. And then one more noun. Let's start with E. We've already got a couple animals, so I don't want to go with elephant. Something that's not an elephant, that's a noun that starts with E. Envelope. Envelope. Is that how you spell envelope? Is there supposed to be an E on the end? I think there's supposed to be an E on the end. I am very bad at spelling. Let's see. Some of these triggers I don't actually know if I can do, or like I haven't tested them yet, so I think head pats, we should, I don't know, does this, that sounds like metally. I need something to like actually pat, so we're gonna take that off. Ear rub I think we should also take off. Trigger word I do like, because that one's easy. Oh, we messed something up. We said this one, if into is trigger. Oh, well, it's just that this is picking something that doesn't exist. So, let's see, we could do positive affirmations. That's always a good one. And that kind of offsets bullying. I think bullying, we should have something different. Let's make negative affirmations, I guess. Those kind of seem like the same thing, so we'll add another column so that we can have some other stuff. Let me make sure moving trigger word didn't mess it up. No, trigger word still works. Although I don't like these trigger words. Moonlight is alright, I guess. Avocado is alright. Skibbity was just a joke. We'll figure that out later. Let's see. We could do kisses. That's a pretty standard one. What else could we do? Let's see. You know, I even have like potential triggers written down somewhere, and I'm just not even looking at it. Oh, typing. I mean, I feel like we're gonna get a lot of typing no matter what, so we should probably add another one. You know, I'll save the numbering for later once we finish. Ooh, tapping. I do like tapping. That's a good one. We could do, I don't know what to call this. Is that like scraping? Scraping doesn't sound like a good sound, but I don't super mind this. It's maybe like finger standard thing. I think we'll leave it there for now. That's a good amount of triggers for these other words. And I think we need to update this because we don't want it to just pull 1 to 4. We want it to pull 1 to 8. And we need to do that over here also because we added up to 8. There we go. And then over here, I think this stuff belongs on the front end. So let's put it over here. And then let's clean it up a little bit too. Oh goodness, every time I update it's gonna change it. So let's, you know what, we don't even need to do that. We can do trigger word's not pulling any. We gotta finish populating the thing before we finish to start using it. Let's see. Moonlight, avocado. More trigger words that are not just jokes. They have to be good trigger words. You can't just use anything as a trigger word, right? I mean, I guess you can if you're good enough, but I'm still a bit of an amateur. I feel like half of these words I'd just like stumble over and it would sound really stupid. Let's see. We could do... Man, I can't think of any now. The pressure's on. I guess that's the nice thing about being an ASMR artist. Whenever you actually have, like, people will just tell you what they want to hear, rather than like you having to come up with it. Let's see. Python. That might not be the best trigger word, but we'll see where it goes. We just want to fill this out for now. We can always change it later. I want to do another one that starts with M for some reason. I don't know, the first thing that comes to mind is manicure. And of course I have no clue how to spell it. Manicure. Hopefully that's right. That's probably wrong. I think like Excel does not have spell checker. It only works under certain things. I don't even remember where to look. I really should have done that before stream started. To-do list. Let's see. Figure out how to get spell check working. That's gonna be a big one. We should probably... That takes priority over the band list, for sure. We're gonna put that at the top. Alright. So we've got this filled out. So let's get these results onto the front end. So I was doing it a second ago, but I want it to be a full sentence. So let's go for, and you know, if we copy and paste it, it'll be easier because it'll do the whole sheet thing. So let's say that, oh, but then for trigger word we gotta, I wanted to say a whole phrase. So I wanted to say, you know, trigger word for commanding yak, but I also wanted to say the trigger word in that sentence if possible, which makes it a little more tricky. So let's just go for equals whatever's in this cell plus, actually we don't want to do that yet. We want to do not plus, we want to use and. That's the correct thing. And we're gonna say quotation marks. Oops. Oh goodness. I should have hit F2 before I arrowed over. Okay. Equals this and quotation. We're gonna hit F2 so that whenever I press to the side it works. We're gonna put in 2 spaces. We're gonna put in the word for. And then we'll put in and now if I hit F2 again, will it let me? Yep. There we go. So ear licking for quirky countertop. So that's good. The only problem with that is that if it does spit out trigger word, how do we get it to take that into account? Let's see, we could do and just never know if there's going to be something. I know we could do like an or an if. Maybe that's something we can save for later. So let's put that on the to-do list. Let's see. We want to get trigger word into the full redeem statement. That's what we want to do. So we'll figure out how to do that a little later because I feel like that might take some time. So let's cut this, and I believe, let's see here, we should have different sections because right now it's just going to be redeems, but maybe we'll get some other stuff later. Oh, Excel does that thing where if you try to cut and paste or copy and paste anything and you make a change, it no longer works. So yeah, here's what I was talking about, where it says before that cell number that it's referring to that cell number on a different sheet. If you cut and paste, it'll just populate that for you, which is nice because I don't feel like typing that in always wrong. I feel like I always mess up the quotations and everything. Also, it's putting a space in these people's usernames. I feel like there aren't usually spaces in people's usernames, and that's because I told it to put in a space, but I don't think we want that in there, so let's change that. And whenever we change it there, it changes here automatically, which is good. And then we're just going to grab all of this. Let's copy instead of cut this time, because I want it to stay over there. And it looks like it broke it, so it doesn't look like it did what I thought it was going to do. Oh, because it's referencing, oh, it's XLOOKUP in a table, and the table's on the other page, but it's not actually saying what that table is. So I need to do XLOOKUP from a different sheet, and I've done that in the past. XLOOKUP from table on another sheet. There will be a fair amount of Googling in these streams. Let's see. Not two spreadsheets, not two different entire spreadsheets. I just want to do it from a different sheet. The other thing that's going to make this rough is that normally I would probably like pull up a video for this. It's usually a lot easier to work with, or to learn from rather, especially because you can tell a lot quicker if it's actually relevant or not. But let's see. I hope. I'm praying. There aren't supposed to be exclamation points though, right? I don't know why I put those in there. It should just be J:, right? We'll go back to the other sheet. We'll check here in a second. And just in case this messes everything up, I'm going to grab everything, copy it, just in case anything goes wrong. So let's see. It was G and H. And yeah, I was right. So let's try that again. So it should be G. There's no guarantees this works either, but oh, okay, it might have worked. So let's hit refresh until we get a trigger word, and hopefully something will populate in that box. Nope. Backend A2 G colon backend G backend H backend H. Going for something random between 1 and 4 if 2A is trigger word. Maybe it's not able to know what's going on. Why is it referencing 2A? This one's referencing N2. So it's probably just like a copy paste error. Let's see. Now we gotta. Oh, wait. So it's pulling something. It's just not finding it. G and H. G and H. I might have put them in the wrong order. It's H and then G. That's what it is. It's trying to pull from the wrong column to the wrong other column. So let's see. Let's cut this. Backspace. Paste. Comma. Now we should be cooking. Come on, trigger word. I should have done this before I added all these other triggers. What are we doing wrong? Backend. Like, the first part is working. If N2 is trigger word, which it is, it's trying to pull something, it's just not finding it. It's doing an X lookup. And it has 3, I believe these are called arguments. So it's looking for a random number between 1 and 4, and it's looking for that value within H, and then trying to go to G. The word backend doesn't look like a real word to me anymore. It's lost all meaning, and I can't even tell if it's spelled right. But that was probably the case before we started. Maybe we don't need all the rest of this. The article said we did, but maybe we don't. Whoops. I get the feeling that's not gonna fix it, but maybe. Oh, that did fix it. Okay. Maybe that article was from a different version of Excel. Maybe in 365 they do it different, or maybe they were like me and they were using Excel 2003 up until 2017 or something. Goodness, I don't even know what to do. Alright, we did it. We did it. We have trigger word successfully working. But let's do... You know, that whole thing was extremely overcomplicated and probably for no reason, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna undo what I was going to do and just have it say like the trigger word is, and then I feel bad getting rid of it though, but this is the front end. The front end is supposed to be all nice and clean and not see multiples. So let's do, this cell is going to be equal to back end exclamation point in 3, I believe. And then we'll say, no, it won't be. Whoops. Oh goodness, okay. It's going to say the, gotta put it in quotations, otherwise it won't work. The trigger word is, and a space, close the quotation marks, and then that. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're gonna delete this whole thing that we just spent like 10 minutes doing, but now we know how to do it. Now we're gonna cut this, we're gonna put it there. Oh, but it's always there now. So we only want it to show up whenever there actually is a trigger word. So we're gonna wrap the whole thing in an if statement. So let's come over here. Oh goodness. Let's see how this one works again. So equal if, and then everything is in quotations. And then we put a space at the end of it, because if we don't, then it will give like an error. So let's say equals if, and then we gotta put that whole same qualifier in there. So if into, well, we gotta do back end exclamation point in 2 equals I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Leave me alone. Equals trigger word, then, so logical test value if it's true is going to be that, and value if it's false is just going to be a space. We close our parentheses and we pray. We pray super hard. Okay, maybe. Let's see. Alright, there we go. So now it will tell us what the trigger word is, and it will say it in like a whole complete sentence. So that's good for redeems. So I think that's good for now. Maybe we should actually do some triggers. This is an ASMR stream after all. And like I probably will do a bunch of working, because like that's what I would do when there aren't viewers, because there's no one around to appreciate the triggers. But I also probably should, you know, practice the triggers a little bit, because that's probably something I'm going to struggle with. So let's do the first trigger of the stream. We're going to hit F9. What are we going to get? Oh, we got another trigger word. Okay. Trigger word for handsome voidling, and the trigger word is moonlight. 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 I don't know how much to play with my voice, or to like try and say it different ways, or are you just supposed to say it consistently? Moonlight. 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 I think that's all we're gonna do. Maybe whenever there's actual people redeeming it, I'll do it for a little longer, depending. But I think that is I think we have reached moonlight saturation for now. Let's try another trigger. What are we gonna get? some idea of who that is based on different chats they've done or something, but I know nothing about Quirky Countertop. I've never met him. So we're just gonna have to come up with something. I don't know why I'm so nervous. It's not a real person. It doesn't really matter what I say, but I still want to do a good job, so let's see here. You know what? We're gonna add something to the to-do list. Let's see for... Oh, get into a... I think we already did that. Well, no, it's still not fully integrated, but I mean, it's pretty close. But let's see. Positive affirmations should give a feel. I don't want to say of interest. I don't know, a field. Hopefully I remember what that means later. Just something like, oh, darn it, we clicked away and it changed. I forgot, that's also, I think if I change anything in the entire sheet, it will automatically change stuff. But it was Quirky Countertop and he wanted positive affirmations. And in the future, we'll add something that says like what he wants positive affirmations, or she, I don't know. Countertops come in all types of genders. But we'll add something like positive affirmations for work, or for personal life, or for their family, or how they're taking care of their family, or whatever it is. So for now, I think I'll just kind of do it in general for Quirky Countertop. Quirky Countertop, you are doing so well. You are doing amazing. And everybody that you see is so happy to see you and pleased that you are doing well. And they are always wishing the best for you, the same way that I am every time I see you here in chat, which has been precisely one time. So keep doing what you're doing and keep moving forward, and you'll do great. I don't know if for the next one if I should just like hit the button or just take what we have now. I guess I do want to try the tapping and see how it comes across on the mic, so we'll do tapping for commanding envelope. I'm not sure what this envelope does in particular to make it so commanding, but I don't know. Tapping. I'm tapping a little away from the microphone. Oh goodness, don't tap that. That doesn't sound good. Tapping this, I guess it is a floor mat, but it's like one of those foam protective floor mats that I really only have on my desk to deaden the sound of the typing, because whenever I had the typing at first, I mean, it sounded like a train coming down the tracks. I was really slamming on that keyboard. It doesn't help that this keyboard is like really old. I mean, I like the keyboard, but I think it's so old that the little rubber feet on the bottom of it are basically gone. And so every time I hit the keys, it just like slams the table, and it's not good. I feel like I should be trying to achieve something whenever I'm tapping, so it doesn't get like too repetitive. Can maybe be musical with it, but I'm not very musically inclined either. I feel like all I've done is say a bunch of things that I'm not good at on this whole stream. I'm good at math and science, I swear, and not putting my phone on silent before the stream starts, I'm very good at that too. And then I'm decent at Excel. Everyone says I'm really good, but I feel like that's just because they don't know how to use it. which I don't really blame them for. I mean, you don't need to know all these other different functions and things if you're not using them, but I also feel like, I don't know, I feel like you can use Excel for a lot of things. I don't feel like there's ever been a time where I thought I could do something in Excel and then I looked it up and the answer was, nope, you just can't do that in Excel. Like, the answer's always been yes, it's just, are you willing to put in the work or not? And I will say, I'm not always willing to put in the work, but I mean, as far as things go, I would say creating a Twitch chat to actively give you redeems in Excel is one of the less difficult things that I've attempted in it, so hopefully it keeps going well. Alright, that was a lot of tapping. I feel like we're good on the taps. Maybe we'll do one more trigger. Oh, negative affirmations for Stinky Yak. I mean, that's gonna be easy because Stinky is one of the worst people in my chat. And I just met him, and I've already had enough, you know? Like, he comes in here, or she, there's many genders of yaks as well. They come in here, and, like, they've never sent a message in chat. They've never engaged with the stream in any meaningful way, and they're already asking for redeems. And they're getting it for free, because I'm not an affiliate yet, and I don't have channel points. And they have the audacity to stroll in here and ask, you know, not even ask, it felt like more of a demand, negative affirmations from me. And I'm very busy, and I honestly, Stinky, I don't think I can dedicate any more time to you. There's other things I would rather be doing than this with you right now. So if you could just, you know, move along and saunter back into obscurity or wherever you came from. Thank you. The negative affirmations are a lot easier for me than the positive ones. I may have a bit of pent-up rage nestled, rooted deep inside of me. So let's see, redeems, that goes pretty well. That's working, and we can always add more to it. Another thing, let's see, let's work on this to-do list, and then once we have a bunch of stuff, then we'll get going. So the ban list, the reason that I wanted that is because I also wanted to have a chatter. Not chatter, just chat thing, I don't know, chat box, where it also gets a random person's name and has them say something. So that's also something I want to work on at some point. And then if they said something, you know, rude, then we would add them to the ban list. So get a bit ahead of ourselves. We'll need the chat box first. What are some other things? I feel like I have let me check my list here, because we do have some stuff. Ban list. Oh, that's something I'm definitely not attempting right now. Oh, we want to format everything. Format the redeem. We'll call it format the front end. And so that's just like, you know, messing around with the different fonts and styles and everything so that instead of just white text on a black thing, that we actually get some sort of, you know, just something that looks nicer than this. And that's not something I've done in Excel much. Normally I'm just very functional about it and I don't really care how it looks, but if we're going to be using this all the time on stream, we probably want it to look sort of nice. So that's something we can work on. What else do we want to add? We want some type of daily redeem. most channels have. And so that would also be, I guess that would populate in the chat box probably, because we don't want it to go off all the time. But we could put a daily redeem inside of the chat box, and that way someone could, do whatever type of daily redeem, and then it would have a bunch of random options, and that could just pop up every now and then. So that's something else we could work on. Sorry. I think that's good for now. So if I had to work on one of these now, it would probably be the positive affirmations field, because we already kind of have a start for that with the way the trigger words populate. So instead of if it says trigger word, so let's copy this whole thing. And we'll put it down here. But instead, we'll say if that cell equals positive affirmations, then, oh, and we have to put something on the back end for that. So it's quickly becoming complicated. Let's add some rows here, or some columns rather. Let's see here. And so the same way that we have something here for trigger word, we'll do positive. So I need to spell it all the way, and then we'll go over again, and we'll just have it called column 5. And so we'll have a couple different options for what direction to go with positive affirmations. So we could go, let's see, we could go family, we could go work, we could go with, I want to say like productivity, let's call it personal projects, something that we could go with. And what's a fourth type of positive affirmation? Let's go with mental health. That's always important. Mental health. All types of people are on all types of journeys with their mental health. So now we have those. Let's delete a couple of columns. There we go. So this is what populates for trigger word. Let's have this cell populate for positive affirmations. So again, we're going to take this value, copy, we're going to come over here, and we're going to insert it right here. And then we're going to go for columns J and then I. Okay, so now let's hit it until we get positive affirmations, and it did not work for some reason. So let's see here. If in 3, not in 2, this one. I guess Excel auto-changed it because sometimes it's smarter than it needs to be. Oh, there it went. I skipped past it, but I did see it. Oh, I did it again. Anyhow, I saw it. I know it's working. So over here, we'll want to say positive affirmations surrounding, and then I believe it's in 4. So now let's try that. Did we just get trigger word like 4 times in a row? I've also seen negative affirmations like 5 times. There we go. Positive affirmations surrounding family. There we go. I still want to get it all in one. At the very least, I probably could combine these. I forget if you just nest the if statements or if you need a then, but we can work on that later. So there we go. That's something off the to-do list. Yeah, I feel like trying to get all of it into one statement is maybe not the best idea, because if it was just trigger word, that would be one thing, but then to try and get positive affirmations, and I just feel like this one cell will end up being an entire just like paragraph, or like an essay or a dissertation or something. Is dissertation the right word? Is that what people do when they leave college? Can't remember. What else are we gonna do? Maybe we put this one on hold. Let's color code. Oh goodness. Do like a little orange. I mean, on hold. Format the front end. Maybe we'll wait a little bit on that. What I want to do is I want to get the chat box going. So let's go over here and let's say live chat. And let's see what the people are saying. So, I mean, pulling the... Sorry, that's really loud. I really hate how the English alphabet just went and made the P sound so much harsher on microphones than everything else. It's really frustrating. Every time I want to say something with a P, I feel like I have to like hold back. Alright, let's see here. So, again, the usernames, we have that taken care of. So we're gonna need a bunch of chat messages. Ooh, I know something to put on the to-do list. We want to figure out how to alter the sorry, there's the P again. Probabilities of random generation. Because like for chatbox, for instance, I'm gonna have one message that gets someone banned, but I don't want it to show up very often. And so, and that's probably something I'll look into off stream, and then I'll implement it on stream, because I feel like that's probably gonna be very difficult to do. The only thing I can think of, and maybe it's very simple to do, maybe there's just like a whole other command for it where you just put in a third column and it has a probability of whatever you're looking for. Or a second column to this column. But what I was thinking of is that maybe, you know, there's something where you put a number next to these, and then you have another column that if it says like there's one of these, it'll only have one of them, and in the next column it'll be really rare. But if I put a 10 next to something else, then it'll pop up 10 times as often. And that's basically what I was saying before, but it would just be kind of like I'm doing it myself by using my probabilities from a table to generate one very long column of redeems with a bunch of duplicates in there for the common stuff, which would be like very inefficient. I'm hoping there's a better way to do it than that, but we'll see. So, chat again, that's what we're doing. So, let's insert some columns. Is Control plus not the right insert shortcut? It's not going to tell me what the shortcut is. I need to figure that out. I know Control minus will delete columns. I would have thought that Control plus would do the opposite. Let's go for chat messages. And then let's extend that. And then let's put, oops, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're probably gonna have a bunch of chat messages. So let's try, nope. Drag this down to like 10, maybe? think it would also be cool if there was like starting and ending chat messages where at the start it would say something like, there would be more messages that say like hello, and then towards the end of stream I could like flip which set chat is pulling from, and then it would have more goodbye messages. But I guess let's just go ahead and get it working at all, and maybe some people will say hello or goodbye in the middle of the stream, which is fine because people join and leave streams in the middle all the time. So let's see here. We'll go with hello juice. This is like a type of message that I would probably send in chat with a little cat face and everything. We're gonna do another cat face. I can't help myself. Okay, we're gonna leave those two the way they are, and then we'll come up with something else. I don't know, man. What do people say in chat? Let's see. I feel like most things in chat aren't like unprompted necessarily, and it would be very hard for the randomness to match up to like what I'm doing. Like someone wouldn't say like, oh, that was a great trigger if I was not doing triggers. So this might be a little harder than I thought. What could people say? I might have to come back. Thank you, Boba on the rocks. I appreciate it. Maybe not doing triggers could be one of my triggers. No, yeah, I'm real. Why wouldn't I be? Did you think it was like a pre? Oh no, this is my first stream. I'm trying to get into ASMR, and I figured a fun first project would be working on an Excel sheet to kind of prompt and generate trigger requests and chat messages and stuff. So, but no, this isn't a rerun. And if you have a trigger request, you can feel free to let me know. It is supposed to be an ASMR stream. I'm just anticipating not having many viewers for a while, so. There we go. Oh, you're real? That could be a good chat message to put into the spreadsheet. Let's see, what else could we put in here? Maybe I'll have to think about this a little bit on stream and come back to it. For the chat messages, maybe I'll have to do some research and look around in other chats. It's like I know what people say in chat, I just feel like it's usually in response to something, which again would make this hard to work, but I am using a Blue Yeti mic, so I fiddled around with it a bit, and I think I have it on decent settings, hopefully, but if anything sounds off, feel free to let me know. I definitely need to tweak it a little bit more. I also probably need to move my computer away a little bit. I didn't realize that my computer sounds like a NASA rocket taking off. Also need to, let me move some of this stuff around on my stream thing. There we go. Okay. So in the meantime, let me go ahead and I can put the usernames for the people chatting, and that would just be the same thing as this. But I don't want it to be the same people that are doing the redeem. Yes, this is my first stream. I do think in 2023 I streamed like a couple video games for like a little bit, but it wasn't anything serious, and I didn't have like any equipment or anything, so this is my first supposed to be like real stream. And so I'm doing ASMR, but I'm also probably going to do some gaming and chatting and stuff at some other points, but this is what I decided to start with. Oh no, yeah, I don't have any yet. Sorry. I do have it like linked to YouTube and everything, but there's nothing on there yet. I have some videos that hopefully I'm going to be working on for YouTube and stuff, but I'm mostly trying to just try a few test streams and make sure that I like it, and then hopefully I'll be getting a PNG VTuber model here soon. Although whenever I say soon, I'd still have to commission it and probably wait a month, so it might be a while for that. But I do have some stuff to work on in the meantime. So let's see, for the chat, so I guess I just kind of copy and paste this, and it will pull another random username, and I think if I just... Okay, I should probably start labeling this stuff a little clearer, so username generation, and then we'll say for redeems for chatting. These aren't both pulling the same, are they? Oh no, they can be different. So I should probably, we're gonna take all of this and move it down to try and keep everything on the screen. So we'll say, hold on. Redeemer chatter. Man, I am probably breaking everything on the front end other sheet right now. Redeem modifier, or let's just say, so yeah, sorry, I guess I don't know how long you've been watching. Basically, this is like the randomizer values, and then it creates random stuff from them. So this is a list of adjectives to be the first part of the username, and this is a list of nouns to be the second part of the username, just because I feel like a lot of Twitch and just online usernames in general are, you know, like an adjective and then a noun, and then these are the different triggers. And so I'm not sure where I think this was the cell that you were referring to. It's basically generating a random number between 1 and 8, and then it finds the corresponding trigger for it using an XLOOKUP function. And so every time that I hit F9, the numbers re-randomize, and it will spit out whatever redeem somebody is wanting. And so this is the redeem that they want, and then if it's a trigger word, it will pop up here, or if it is a positive affirmation, it will pop up here. So if they wanted positive affirmations, maybe they wanted them about what they're doing at work, and if they wanted a trigger word, then it would populate one of the trigger words from the spreadsheet. And then over on the front end, I have no clue if... Oh, it is still working. Okay, thankfully Excel is smart, and whenever I just decide to copy and paste and move a bunch of stuff around over here, it moves it around over here as well. And so the idea is that this is kind of the you know, all the calculations and stuff going on, and then on the front end it's a little nicer and neater, and you can just hit it and it will generate something. So finger tracing for productive fox, or a trigger word for speedy banana, and the trigger word is manicure. And so what I was working on was trying to get a chat working next. And so now, you know, I already had the username for the redeemer, whoever's redeeming something, and now I need to get these chat messages and the chatter username to populate over here under the chat. So the chatter is pretty easy. I can just do that. Oh, it broke for some reason. Why is it breaking? Okay. I mean, I know why it broke, but last time it let me copy and paste it without... Oh. What is going on? Okay, let's start over. Let's try that again. I'm just gonna copy this text, and then we'll come over here. Oh, that's what it's doing. It's like still... Alright, let's try this. Okay, but we want it to grab from the back end Excel sheet for that number. Why am I even doing any of that? That's not even what I want to do. I just want it to be equal to that one cell, which I don't know what it is. I'm going to put in O2 as a placeholder, but it just needs to equal O11. O11. There we go. And so now there's a different person redeeming than there is chatting, and then they would just need a chat message, which would be something from this list. So it just needs to be, goodness, let's see here. It's going to be like an if x lookup. I don't really have anything to copy paste for this. It's going to have to be a new thing. So we're going to start with equals. And it's not going to be... It's not going to be an if statement. It's just going to be x lookup. So x lookup, and the lookup value is going to be rand rand between, whoops, between 1 and 3 for now, but eventually 1 and 10. And it's going to look it up on back end sheet, and it is column, goodness, I don't even know. We'll just put in a placeholder. I think it's K. Let's try K and back end J, maybe. And something should be found every time. Well, that didn't work. Maybe those are the wrong column numbers. K and L. K and L. What did I use? Okay. And I think L has to go first. And then this one is K. There we go. And so now every time I hit the random refresh, it will give me a trigger, and it will have a chatter give a message. And it looks like Commanding House has to leave the stream. So have a good rest of your day, Commanding House. And I'm sorry, handsome voidling. I'm not doing that trigger word because I just did that a little while ago and I don't want to do it again. If you were a real person, I would do it, but I'm moonlighted out for now. Ear licking for commanding voidling, and Speedy Banana says hello juice. I do need to add more to the live chat messages because people saying hi and goodbye and oh you're real is gonna get old after a little bit. But we can do some ear licking. I haven't tried that on stream yet. Oh no, I don't think I could actually make it show up in Twitch chat. I don't think any of this will ever show up in the... Oh goodness, I'm sorry, I dropped something. I don't think any of it will show up in the Twitch interface. That would be far too difficult to do. It would all just be on the screen at any given moment. It's basically just something to keep myself entertained throughout the stream. And then, like I said, I was gonna be, or hopefully going to be, a VTuber, and kind of the theme of my VTuber would be kind of like a white collar worker. So I felt like Excel kind of fit the theme. I know there's bots that once you say a certain word, it'll say a phrase. Yeah, I don't know if I can ever get like just pressing F9 inside of Excel to generate, to like automatically type something in chat for the bot to work off of. Like there's no way to link Excel to the Twitch chat as far as I know. And also like I feel like that might be a little, I don't want to say like misleading, but also hard to keep up with. Like it would be misleading in the way that like people might think that my stream is more active than it is, and then I don't know if there's like consequences for that because I'm sure Twitch doesn't like that. But I'd also really like to be able to make sure that I can tell what the difference is between like a real chat and a fake one, because I don't think I'm going to be able to memorize everything that's in here, because like right now it's just 8 by 8, so I guess there's really only like 64 possibilities, but I feel like this list could easily, you know, be like 30 long or something, and then that's 900 fake usernames, and I would never know who's who and if it's a real chat or not. Not that I think this Excel sheet will ever be, you know, so convincing that you would ever think it was real, but it's already kind of lots of things to keep track of when streaming and stuff. So it'll only ever show up on this front end, and it'll just be like redeems, live chat, and then maybe we'll have some other stuff. The strangest thing I've ever seen here is a bot on Twitch called Nightbot that would say that every 5 minutes would say a line from Shrek. I don't think I've seen that one. I've definitely seen some interesting bots though. But yeah, I don't know, maybe there is a bot out there that integrates with Excel, but I think you'd also lose the username because it would just, I mean, I guess it could say, you know, who it's from, but I don't know, maybe I'll look into it at some point. But I do think it would probably be better if all of Twitch chat just stays Twitch chat and all of my fake Excel redeemers and chatters stay within the confines of their Excel document. So let's see, was that something, I guess technically we got chat box off the to-do list, but we need to still add more messages to the chat box. Yeah, that one I don't think we'll do. Maybe we will, I don't know. Let's see here. Spell check. I just need to figure that out. I don't know how to spell anything. I want to turn on spell check and there's just going to be red lines everywhere. It's just going to be like you misspelled everything. let's see. I think everything's pretty well labeled. Let's go ahead and try another redeem. Positive affirmations for worried countertop surrounding personal projects. And Stinky Envelope also says, hello juice, with the little cat face. Worried countertop, you are doing amazing at all of the different things that you're pursuing in your personal life. You're making lots of progress, even though it might not feel like it all the time. The most important thing to remember is that as long as you're making some progress, that's good enough. And you don't have to work on it every day, but as long as you're moving forward, that's more than you might have been doing before. And the most important thing is to keep going and to be happy with however much progress you are making. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at the positive affirmations. Let's try another one. What do we get? Worried Envelope has to leave now. Thanks for the stream. No problem, Worried Envelope. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Ooh, typing. This is what I'm good at for Brave Yak. I mean, I'm good at typing, but usually when I have something to type, I'm not sure what I should type. Let's see here. Oh god, adequate. I know that's not how you spell it. Whoops, I keep forgetting you can't just mess around with the arrow keys in Excel. Brave Yak. My words per minute, I don't remember. I did just take a test. I think it was like 78 words a minute? I'm not sure. I also feel like it's a little unfair because I always find those typing tests that I type a lot faster than I do in real life because I'm just like looking at whatever it is. And I don't know, it's easier to type whenever I can see the words, where like when you just saw me typing just then, I didn't do so great because I'm trying to like think about the words and type them, which I find difficult. I know it's over 60 though, because I had a job interview a little while ago and it was like 65 or something, but that was a couple years ago. I think it's probably around 70 without mistakes. There was something that while I was in the middle of typing, I knew I wanted to add to this to do. It was something I noticed, and I don't remember what it was. Oh, I wanted to. Let's see here. Let's put it down here. Keep a chat box history? I don't know if that's possible. So that any of these words, like, it kind of goes like a real Twitch chat where you can see all the past messages from all the past usernames. Probably won't do that now because I only have 3 possible chat messages, so I don't think it's terribly important. I think it was that someone chatted they had to go, and I thought it was maybe the same person who had just done a redeem, and so it would have been nice to be able to confirm that. I think they both had envelope in them, but it might have been a different adjective. I feel like the probability of getting one of these 2 times in a row is pretty low, though, because there's, I mean, it would be like a 0.5% chance, or no, a 2%-ish chance, because it's 1 out of 64. All right. Guess I'll do another redeem because I don't know what else to work on the sheet right now. Oh, for the Excel sheet, no. If it would just be like, it would basically be that first I would figure out how to make these not an even chance, so that some things pop up more often than others, and then there would be a chat message that would, you know, basically just be this, like something that gets auto-modded, or maybe it would just be a mean comment towards me or something, and then I would take that username and put it on a ban list, and then I would try to figure out some way for whenever this is generating, if it generates a name that is on the ban list, it would disregard it and roll again and try and get a different name. And that way that person would effectively be banned. They wouldn't be able to redeem or chat because every time their name got randomly populated, it would throw it out and it would try again. So I'm not 100% sure how to do that yet, but I'm pretty sure it's possible. It would be like an if statement or argument. I still forget what these are called. I believe they're called arguments. Oops. That's the one thing about random things, is they never feel random. Like, I feel like the same adjective pops up a bunch between these, and I know that's like not necessarily possible, but it feels like it happens too often. Stinky Countertop says, hello juice, and Stinky Voidling redeemed negative affirmations. A lot better at the negative ones than the positive ones, so that's good. Stinky Voidling, you are awful, and I really hate that you're here in my chat on my channel doing redeems when you could literally be anywhere else, and yet you choose to be here, and not only to pester me with your existence, but to make demands about me giving you any type of affirmation, whether positive or negative. And I really wish you would stop, and it would be great if you would just leave now. Thank you. Let's see. I'm probably gonna be ending stream soon. I actually only plan to go for an hour because I do have some videos I want to work on. Because I think one piece of advice I saw for streaming is that it's usually easier to get discovered on other platforms rather than Twitch. So I do want to try and get something up on my YouTube channels to help. So let me see. I want to work on this, the random generation off stream. Just figuring out how to do it, and then I'll do it on stream at some point. And then spell check. I want to figure that out off stream, because that's something probably it's just in the options or something. I know I've seen spell check in Excel before, but it just doesn't show up very often. I think it's because they know that people do a bunch of stuff in Excel that's not real words, and so they have it off by default. I think most of the rest of this I'll just work on stream at some point. Yeah, I don't want people thinking I'm not real. In this age of AI, you know, it could be anything, right? Although I like to think I have a little more personality than that, but I know what you mean, like with it being a rerun or whatever. But nope, I'm trying to figure it out on stream, which I don't know if is more entertaining or less entertaining, but if I ever do anything that's like a tutorial or something, it would definitely be like a YouTube video or something. But thank you for tuning in, Boba on the rocks. Oh, okay, I get it. It's like a bartending order or something, right? Oh, it's a song. Okay, I haven't heard of it before, so maybe I'll look it up after stream and take a listen. But thank you for tuning in and engaging. I appreciate it. I wasn't actually anticipating anybody being here today, so sorry if it was a little slow or boring, but I appreciate you being here. And if you're ever here again in the future, you can always request redeems or whatever you want. You can also, would you like to add an adjective and or a noun to the list for the username generation? Oh, scratching as a redeem? Yeah, we can do that. Let's see here. Although I did try it a bit later or earlier. Scratching's not like one of my favorites, but I don't know. I feel like scratching right on the mic probably doesn't. Like, that sounds a bit abrasive to me, but I don't know if you like that. I feel like people who do mic scratching typically do it a different way. I still need to figure out, like, different ways to do the triggers with this mic. Because like a lot of the things that I do, I feel like they're too quiet and like the mic doesn't pick them up, but that's because I have a bit of noise suppression on because my PC sounds like a jet engine. And then other things, I just think I like don't have the right materials. Yeah, item triggers. I don't have a bunch of items either. I do have like a paintbrush that I thought would work for like kind of ear flutters, but I think they also use something else for that. So I do have a bit of money set aside for like some physical trigger items. I just haven't done anything with it yet because I wanted to make sure I enjoyed streaming before I went and spent a bunch more money, because the microphone and everything was not like outrageously expensive, but I just didn't want to kind of like sink a bunch of money into it and then be like, oh, I don't like this. So I'll definitely look into that. But mic scratching, I'll try to look into that one specifically. Because most of these are just like small little tricks, or like you can do them with everyday objects and stuff, and I just don't know how to do it because I haven't looked into it yet, but I will look into mic scratching for you. And then I'll look into these other things. I don't have a schedule yet or anything. it'll probably mostly be on the weekends to start, just because I don't know, it's kind of time consuming and I work during the week. Maybe whenever I have everything set up properly, then streaming during the week might happen more. So we'll see, but hopefully I'll be back by next weekend, maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday, or maybe both. We'll see. But thank you for being here. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.